So this is kind of a hodgepodge of important programs. This is the second Dolphin game ever, regular season game. They lost 23-14 after the first game opening kickoff return for touchdown. We thought the Dolphins would go 14-0 back then. They did. 72-73 were the perfect seasons. There's the Joe Namath 1979 guaranteed. Here's a smattering of other Super Bowls. That's the Oklahoma City Thunder championship program. Here is a mixture of unique kind of relationship games. Then the first real NFL team, because Namath did his thing in '69 and the Dolphins had 3 years in the old AFL, but they knew where they were going to merge in. And then when Shula took over, it was a different story. We have had a couple of good coaches, a lot of failures. I'll take the karma of stealing Don Shula from the Colts any day. The fans were nuts. They were all waving white hankies, and that's that. And I was with Don Shula. He asked for some cash, not because he just didn't have cash at the time for a valet. And I took out my wallet, and he saw that. And he said, "What is that?" I said, "Well, that's the first game that I ever went to." And he said, that's the way you celebrate your dad, by putting that in the wallet?" And he said, "I'm going to sign it for you, but if I ever see that in a wallet again, I'm going to rip it up." And he signed it, and it's been, in a showcase ever since. I am going to get, between now and the next 3 or 4 years, every living 72 Dolphin who is capable of coming up here, and Greasy will lead that way. 800 hats, baseball, tennis, some really good balls. But part of my memory is to do all the kind of stadium stuff for the conversion of Joe Robbie Stadium to baseball that we presented to Major League Baseball when Wayne Huizinga was applying for the franchise here. And of course it made it for 3 years. I don't remember how long, 4 years maybe even longer than that, until the new stadium was done. And this is kind of the theater room. The beauty of the organization is I wanted to get one important thing from each sport, and then after a while you have so much that you choose from that it's like, all right, let's get this thing and let's decide what we want to do with it that just fits kind of a number of different places. So, kind of a cool cowboy helmet. Most of this stuff is from openings of respective events or games that are important. So, Thunder finals, college football championship, Georgia, Alabama, you see that. Yeah, exactly. The Detroit Lions new stadium opening, the hard construction hat there. The XFL, before I was bright enough, because I realized XFL, UFL, USFL, WHA, Senior Baseball League, I realized kind of when it's beginning of the end. So the first thing I would do, especially if I had a position of influence, grab all the memorabilia and make sure you can do it.